What's in the King's speech for Wales? The UK government insists longer sentences for serious crimes and reforms to help major investment in wind farms will benefit people here.
I think people will say is they will vote for a government that is going to protect the economy, that's going to protect law and order on our streets, and that is going to protect society in a wider way. And there's all of that contained in the speech stage.
An empty distraction, say Plaid Cymru. Thin, say Labour, with speculation in some quarters that the King's speech could mean a May general election.
Also tonight, a primary school fireworks display goes seriously wrong. One spectator says it was like shrapnel flying everywhere.
The firework come over the fence and it was just the panic. There was children crying, there was adults just ushering their children out the way. Like I said, my partner, she died for cover behind the car with a baby.
They've been a key part of the COVID inquiry, but the First Minister admits some WhatsApp messages from Welsh Government officials in the pandemic may have been deleted. Now, they formed a key part of recent evidence heard by the COVID inquiry, but it's emerged some WhatsApp messages from Welsh Government officials during the pandemic may have been deleted. The admission was made by the First Minister in the Senedd earlier, although he stressed that messages would not have been deleted after it became apparent they would be of interest to the COVID inquiry. Our political correspondent Daniel Davis is at the Senedd for us tonight and can tell us more. Dan.
Nick, we've seen the messages that were pinging around Downing Street during the pandemic, and in Scotland, the Scottish Government has been ordered to hand over 14,000 WhatsApp messages to the COVID inquiry. Here at the Senedd today, Andrew R.T. Davis, the leader of the Welsh Conservative, wanted to know whether the Welsh Government would hand over its WhatsApp messages and, crucially, had any of them been deleted. Now, Mark Drakeford, the First Minister, said yes, they were going to give the inquiry a vast amount of material, and it was up to the inquiry then to decide what they wanted to look at, what messages they needed to see. But on this issue of whether things were deleted, he said when they found out that the inquiry would want to see all this stuff, no instruction was issued within the Welsh Government to delete messages. Prior to that, however, yes, there may have been people who were routinely or automatically deleting their messages, and if that was the case, those messages were lost. Mark Drakeford said no one in the early days of COVID was focusing on whether any of these messages would need to be handed over eventually to an inquiry.
And Dan, it's worth pointing out how much politicians rely on WhatsApp.
I mean, politics depends on gossip and information, and a lot of that is handed back and forth on WhatsApp nowadays. But Mark Drakeford said that his government didn't use any informal means of communication to take decisions. And he himself said that he didn't use WhatsApp. He didn't know how to delete messages and he didn't use it anyway. Andrew R.T. Davis has chosen a rather more traditional means of communication. He sent a letter to the First Minister just to clarify a few points on all of that.
OK, Dan, thank you very much.